Hello. Let's talk about potatoes. Well, all right. I see a lot of posts, a lot of Facebook posts and so forth about when do I want to harvest my potatoes. So I thought I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Now mine are all still going. They're all green still, and you can kind of see them here. I know they're kind of at the bottom of the screen. Some of them are starting to look a little puny. So here's the deal, all right? I have done this and done it repeatedly. And let me tell you, you don't want to start digging potatoes until the vines are almost dead. I've heard people say, oh, they're blooming, so I know there's potatoes under there, it's time to dig them. No. Leave them till the vines are almost gone. And I'll tell you why. I've dug them where the vines were completely dead, just completely dead. And you pull them up and you harvest the potatoes and you find, you know what, there's still little bitty ones in there. They'll keep producing until that vine dies. They can look sad, yellow, limp, but until that vine dies, they're still putting out potatoes. And they're still feeding the potatoes that are part of the roots. So go ahead and leave them. Don't worry about them. Now once the vine completely dies, if you've got them dug into the soil, you want to get them out of there. You want to get them out of there because eventually what's going to happen is they're going to rot. So, and you can't predict it. You know, some of them will rot when you don't want them to. They'll go ahead and give up on you. And then when you don't expect it, you'll have one that stays in the ground all winter long, and next spring it comes up as a volunteer. So, you know, just leave them till they're dead, and then pull them up. Now, I'm going to say again, and I've mentioned it before, the way I grow them is the Ruth Stout method. I just lay the seed potato right on top of the ground. I don't cut mine. I go through the bag and I pick out little potatoes, you know, stuff that's, you know, and I just lay them right on top of the ground. And then I cover them with a thick layer of mulch. And I lay them right on top of whatever's left of last year's mulch. If there's a little bit of mulch left on the ground, that's fine. And you know what? They grow fine. They're so easy to harvest and it's so much nicer. But, you know, do it the way you want to. But like I say, leave the plants go till they completely die. Now, let's talk about cold frames. I've got the greenhouse that's been in a bunch of my videos. But you know what? It's about time for it to retire. So I'm going to pick up the camera and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about and explain it a little bit and tell you what I'm going to do for next year. Well, all right. Well, this is what I'm planning to do. The greenhouse, like I say, it probably has lived through the amount of its life that was kind of predicted. It was an inexpensive thing. We put it together. It worked for about 3 years. Now it's time to move on. So I got to thinking about, what do I want to do? Do I want to try to build a better greenhouse? What do I want to do? And here's what I came up with. I've decided that maybe a greenhouse isn't the most practical thing for me. Now everybody's decision may be different, but here's what I came up with. I use the greenhouse in the spring when I'm starting plants. So there's about a 2-month or so from mid-March to like May that I'm using it actively. And the rest of the time, it just kind of becomes a catch-all. It's just not used through the summer. It's too hot in there through the summer. And, you know, you probably could do pepper plants in it through the summer, but I just haven't. So I made this decision. All right, I think what I'm going to do is build me a cold frame next to my garden. And I'm going to build that cold frame with either a A-frame top on it, or maybe even a hoop house type top on it that's removable. That way I can do this. I can use it through the spring to start plants in from mid-March on until I'm done starting new seedlings. Then when I'm done starting new seedlings, the top can be removed. I can stick it in the garage or just out of the way somewhere. And then I can use that cold frame as a separate bed that maybe I can grow beets in the fall, or whatever, that I can just plant direct in the soil and let that be an extra bed for that fall garden or something else that I want to grow that I just didn't end up with room for, or last minute I didn't plant it and gee, I found this pack of seeds and I really want to grow these this year. So I thought that'd be a better deal. Not only that, you know, greenhouses, even inexpensive ones, they cost you some money. They're not free. They're not cheap. This one I believe was $300. I may be remembering wrong, so don't quote me, but I believe. And it's like a 6x8. But you know, that's still some money, and you got to invest in some 4x4s or something to make a frame to put it on. And you got to have the tools to do that. Well, you know, cold frame is inexpensive to build. Anybody just about could do it. And or if they can't do it, you know what, I bet they got a family member that can help them. And that's something everybody could have by their garden or next to the foundation of the house, wherever's a good spot. And then use it year after year, and it'll be helpful and it'll be useful. And then it won't be wasted space in midsummer because it can be another garden bed. So that's the way I'm going. Leave me a comment, share, subscribe, have fun, do things. One more thing on the, well, two more things, come to think of it. As far as the rhubarb seed, I did have one person send me an envelope, and young lady, I want to let you know that envelope's in my mailbox now with the little flag up. So they're going to be coming your way. And please, and for sure, send me some pictures. But if anybody else wants them, I've got a lot. And they're free. I wouldn't charge for this. These are just seed heads that came up on my rhubarb this spring. And they made seeds and dried, and I mean thousands of seeds. I did not realize rhubarb did this. I've never grown rhubarb before. This one's a new one for me here in the last couple of years. But I decided to start growing rhubarb. I planted it. This is what happens. I've got a lot of seeds. And if anybody wants one, please just take a self-addressed stamp envelope, fold it up, put it inside another envelope, go to Facebook Messenger, enter my name just like it appears on the channel, and tell me you want some seeds. Mail that to me. I'll take your self-addressed pre-stamped envelope. I'll put rhubarb seeds in it, throw it in the mail for you. I don't have any guarantees, don't know how well they'll germinate, how well they'll work, but they're this spring seeds. So they should do okay. And I don't have any guarantees on how to grow them. I've never tried it from seed. I'm sure it'd take a year or so longer to get a usable product than if you went out and bought a nice root, a nice start from a greenhouse company. But you know what? It's free and it might be a fun experiment. All right, this brings me to my last thing, and that's this. I'm starting to work on my pickup truck. I'm going to be replacing some floor pans. I'm going to be working on some little bit of body work, and eventually I'm building a motor for it, and we'll do that. And I'll probably put a paint job on it. If a few of you people are interested in seeing that happen, leave me a comment. And I'll put out a video now and then about what I'm doing on the old truck. I get a lot of compliments on the old truck, and it's, you know, the poor thing needs some help. But I'm starting to work on it right now. In fact, I'm working on the differential currently. If you want to do that, I'll post some videos on it. And probably what I'll do, I'll make it obvious from the title that that's what this video is about. So if you're not interested in, in mechanics and in the old truck, don't worry about it. Just skip over that one. you know, all right, that's the end for today. I want you all to have a good day and quality day. Remember, leave those potatoes in the ground. Even when you dig them, when they're not quite dead, but they're almost dead, anytime that you dig up potatoes, you always still find some little ones. That if that plant had still carried on, they would have filled out. So don't be in a hurry. Wait till the plant's given up, and then dig your potatoes, and I hope you enjoy them. Fresh new potatoes are wonderful. All right, thank you. Goodbye.